In Dutch football, some clubs are measured not only by trophies, but by identity. Feyenoord Rotterdam is one of those clubs. Based in Rotterdam and playing in the Eredivisie, the top tier of Dutch football, Feyenoord is part of the country's famous Big Three alongside Ajax and PSV Eindhoven. But its image is different. Where Ajax is often associated with technique, academy ideals, and Amsterdam confidence, Feyenoord is widely seen as the people's club, hardworking, emotional, loyal, and deeply connected to its city. Its supporters do not simply watch Feyenoord, they inherit it, defend it, and carry it as a symbol of Rotterdam pride. To understand Feyenoord is to understand a club built on endurance, industrial character, dramatic victories, painful droughts, and a stadium that feels less like a venue and more like a living monument. Feyenoord's story begins in 1908, but not under the name the world knows today. The club was founded as Wilhelmina, and during its early years it went through several name changes before settling in 1912 on SC Feyenoord, named after its neighborhood in Rotterdam. That detail matters because Feyenoord has always been rooted in place. It was not created as an abstract sporting brand, but as a local club tied to a specific working-class environment. In 1974, the spelling was updated to SC Feyenoord, reflecting a more internationally readable form of the name. Then, in 1978, the professional side split from the amateur club connected to it and became simply Feyenoord. Those changes trace the club's transformation from a neighborhood team into a major football institution, but the local identity never disappeared. Since 1937, Feyenoord's home has been Stadion Feyenoord, better known as De Kuip, meaning the tub. It is the second largest stadium in the Netherlands, but its importance goes far beyond capacity. De Kuip is one of European football's great atmospheric grounds, famous for the way sound seems to roll down from the stands and surround the pitch. For Feyenoord supporters, it is the emotional center of the club's universe. Generations have gathered there through championship seasons, European nights, disappointments, and long waits for glory. Many clubs have stadiums. Feyenoord has a home that shaped its reputation. De Kuip helped define the club's intimidating, passionate character, and visiting teams have long understood that playing Feyenoord in Rotterdam is never just another away match. Feyenoord's domestic record places it among the giants of Dutch football. The club has won 16 Dutch football championships, 14 KNVB Cups, and 5 Johan Cruyff Shields. Those numbers explain why Feyenoord belongs in the same national conversation as Ajax and PSV. Even more remarkable is the club's consistency near the top of Dutch football. Since gaining promotion to the Eerste class in 1921, the forerunner of the Eredivisie, Feyenoord has continuously remained in the top 10 levels of the Dutch football system more than any other club in the country. That longevity is a major part of its status. Trophies matter, but so does presence. Feyenoord has been a constant force, a club that keeps returning to the center of the national story even after difficult periods. The phrase Big Three is central to Dutch football history. Ajax, PSV, and Feyenoord have dominated the Eredivisie era, but each represents something distinct. Ajax is tied to Amsterdam and global tactical influence. PSV is linked to Eindhoven, industrial backing, and remarkable efficiency. Feyenoord represents Rotterdam, direct, resilient, proud, and emotionally intense. This contrast has helped turn domestic competition into more than a league table. When Feyenoord challenges Ajax or PSV, it is not only a football match, it feels like a test of identity. For Feyenoord supporters, success has often carried the feeling of proving that grit and unity can stand against wealth, glamour, or outside assumptions. That is why even when Feyenoord is not the richest or most polished team, it remains one of the Netherlands' most powerful football names. The club's most successful period came in the 1960s and 1970s, when Feyenoord rose from national power to international pioneer. Led by figures such as Koen Moulin, Willem van Hanegem, and Ove Kindval, Feyenoord won 6 league titles across that era and became one of Europe's most respected teams. Moulin was a legendary winger, admired for skill and flair. Van Hanegem brought vision, intelligence, and control in midfield. Kindval, the Swedish forward, gave the team cutting edge in crucial moments. Together, they helped create a Feyenoord side that blended technical quality with physical strength and collective belief. This was not just a golden generation, it was the moment when Feyenoord showed that Dutch clubs could compete with, and defeat, the best sides on the continent. Feyenoord's international breakthrough was historic. The club won the European Cup, becoming the first Dutch club to lift the continent's most prestigious club trophy. That achievement carried huge significance for the Netherlands. Before Ajax's later European dominance became famous around the world, Feyenoord had already opened the door. The club also won the Intercontinental Cup, making it the first Dutch club to win both the European Cup and the World Club title of its era. This changed perceptions of Dutch football. It proved that a team from the Netherlands could stand on the highest global stage. For Feyenoord, these trophies remained foundational memories, not just because they were victories, but because they were firsts. They turned Rotterdam pride into international recognition. Feyenoord's European story did not end with the golden era. The club has won 2 UEFA Cups, and the 2002 triumph remains one of its most emotional modern achievements. Feyenoord defeated Borussia Dortmund in the final, and the match was played in its own stadium, De Kuip. That detail made the night almost mythic for supporters. Winning a European trophy is rare enough, winning it at home, in front of your own people, turns it into folklore. The 2002 UEFA Cup also carries a wider historical distinction. Feyenoord remains the only team from the Netherlands to win a European trophy in the 21st century. In a modern football landscape often dominated by larger leagues and bigger budgets, that achievement has grown even more impressive with time. But Feyenoord's history is not only made of triumph. One of the defining parts of the club's modern identity is the long wait for a league title before 2017. Feyenoord went 18 years without winning the Dutch championship, a drought that tested the patience and faith of its supporters. For some clubs, such a wait can weaken identity. At Feyenoord, it seemed to intensify it. The hunger grew, and each near miss added to the emotional weight. When the title finally returned in 2017, it was not received as a routine championship. It felt like a release of almost 2 decades of longing. The celebration showed what Feyenoord means to Rotterdam. Success is not consumed quietly, it is lived collectively, loudly, and with visible relief. No explanation of Feyenoord is complete without De Klassieker, the fierce rivalry with Ajax. It is a clash between clubs from the 2 biggest cities in the Netherlands, Rotterdam and Amsterdam. The rivalry is about football, but also culture, geography, attitude, and image. Ajax has often carried the aura of the capital, stylish, confident, and internationally celebrated. Feyenoord reflects Rotterdam's port city toughness and working identity. That contrast gives De Klassieker its emotional charge. Matches between the two can shape seasons, define players, and dominate national attention. For Feyenoord fans, beating Ajax is never just 3 points. It is a statement of pride, a symbolic victory in a rivalry that expresses 2 different visions of Dutch football and Dutch urban identity. Feyenoord's visual identity is instantly recognizable. The home shirt is split red and white down the middle, paired with black shorts and black socks. It is simple, bold, and deeply traditional. The club anthem, Hand in Hand, adds another layer to the matchday experience. Sung by supporters, it reinforces the idea of unity between team and crowd. Feyenoord is also more than one professional men's football team. It exists as part of a broader multi-sports structure, including Sport Club Feyenoord, the amateur football side, as well as Feyenoord Futsal and Feyenoord Handball. That wider sporting presence reflects the club's roots as a community institution. Feyenoord is not only watched from afar, it is embedded in local sporting life and passed through families, neighborhoods, and generations. Feyenoord's place in football history comes from a rare combination: major trophies, historic firsts, fierce rivalry, unforgettable atmosphere, and a supporter culture that gives the club unusual emotional power. It has been Dutch champion 16 times, lifted domestic cups, conquered Europe, and brought an intercontinental cup to Rotterdam. But statistics alone cannot explain why Feyenoord matters. The club matters because it represents a city's self-image, tough, loyal, direct, and proud. It matters because de Kuip can make football feel bigger than the match itself. It matters because even in long periods without the biggest prizes, the bond between club and supporters did not break. Feyenoord is not just one of the Netherlands' big three. It is one of European football's great examples of identity surviving every era. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.